What's going on, guys? Ryan with Jedha Patrol back with another figure preview video. Today we're going to take a look at the ARF Trooper and the 501st ATRT. Let's roll. That's right, guys. We are back. Another clone trooper variant, another clone vehicle, another Star Wars vehicle, one that's going to be freaking awesome. And yes, I will be getting two of these. So let's dive into this. If you want to pre-order one of these, Pop Collectibles is where I get mine. You can link down there if you want to click it. If you don't, that's fine. I'm actually quite excited for this. It's a clone trooper, number one clone trooper variant that we have not seen before. It's a clone vehicle, 6-scale vehicle. And it's tied to the 501st. Like all of those things combined, just money in my book. And it's money for Hot Toys, honestly, because I'm going to get a couple of these things. But let's take a look at it. I've got photos of the prototypes at Secret Base from my friends over Pop Collectibles. So they got those. I also have some of the blogger photos. We'll take a look at them. There's a lot of photos here. I don't know how much time we're going to spend on each one. But let's get into it and take a look. First off, let's look at like what you get with both. So you can get the ATRT by itself if you want, or you can get it with a trooper. I think it makes sense to get it with the trooper because I think it's a better deal. It's like $140, $150 more to get the trooper with the vehicle. I just think that makes more sense. Even if you got it and sold the trooper or got it and sold the vehicle, whatever it is. So for me, I plan on getting the set. But you do get the vehicle, which has some pretty cool functionality that it folds down. I kind of dig that. And then we get a trooper with a couple weapons and some hands. And the trooper design is just interesting. So if you get the set, this is what you get. Let's go ahead and get into the Secret Base photos. All right, so let's get into one. So we got a lot of detail shots on this one. All right, so this is going to be the front mounted weapon. Look at the detail and the paint application and the weathering. Again, this is prototype. But here it is standing up in a display. And you can see it's quite tall. However, it folds down, as we saw previously, it folds down into a manageable set, and I think it looks great, especially when you got more troopers surrounding it, and I don't know. There's something about it I just kind of dig. Front-mounted cannon looks great. What I am concerned about, and I'm sure that the legs are ratcheted. Like, I have no doubt they're ratcheted joints, because otherwise it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense stability-wise, is balancing it. That's going to be a thing for me, is how does it balance with a figure on top? I mean, we got chicken legs here, right? So how's that going to work? Oh, we won't know for a while. So that's just going to be a thing. Well, we're just going to have to find out. Look at this guy. This is not with the set, though. This is a different figure altogether, but damn, he looks good. But I want to get back to the figure of... Look at that. I like that. Look at that. Hot Toys. Look at that. That's smart. That's smart. I like that. I'm going to steal that. I didn't see that earlier. I'm 100% going to steal that. That's cool. All right, let's get into the actual... There we go. This guy, the ARF Trooper. So, ARF Trooper, totally different helmet style. Obviously, still a clone, but the helmet style is distinct. It's going to stand out on the shelf, even though it's got the 501st coloration. And obviously, it's going to have a very similar body to the 501st we already got. So I would expect ratcheted joints, ratcheted shoulders, knees, legs, hips, the whole thing. I would expect all that out of that figure. This is one, it's just a different helmet. So for Hot Toys, super easy, barely an inconvenience to give us another trooper variant and get more, another $300 from us. But check it out, the 501st little emblem they've got on the side of this thing. I dig that. I love the paint application of this, man. The little copper bronze color they've got down there for the blaster on the front. I mean, the weathering, the coloration we got. I mean, yeah. So I'm a fan. There's no doubt I'm going to get this. I would like to know if you're planning on getting this. And then what other vehicles would you like to see them make? Like a gunship would be cool. I mean, it would be 5 foot large, but whatever. I don't really care. That would be cool. Obviously, everybody's talking like the Mando N1 fighter. That would be cool, but they haven't put it up for pre-order yet, so I don't know what the hell that means. But look at this thing. All right, so we're going to have the typical undersuit, as you can see right there, from the 501st. Weathering looks very similar. I'm looking for like differences in armor, and the armor looks a little different in the hip section. Yeah, it does look a tad different. Look at that. Look at this wash. Now this, you can tell this is a prototype because you can look how sloppy this wash is over this back part here. It's very heavy-handed, and you can see the paint applications back here. Like you can tell that's a prototype, but my painting's not that good, so I'm not mad about that at all. I think it looks pretty good. There's our back of our trooper. Look at the back of that helmet. Look at that. I dig that. I have a lot of photos here, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on all of them. But what I wanted to talk about was, number one, Clone Wars is never going anywhere. Hot Toys should continue to make Clone Wars vehicles. They should continue to make Clone Wars troopers. Clone Wars characters, we need a Kit Fisto, a Plo Koon, a Mace Windu. I know everybody's talking about Mace Windu for like 2 years now, but they haven't made it yet, so that's a thing. Look at the paint applications on these feet. It's Walker feet. Come on, man. That's some big feet, which is going to allow it some good balance. And I dig that. If we can get some decent balance out of this thing, I think it's going to be good. I am scared a little bit of it falling over in a display cabinet. That would suck. But I think, going back to what I was saying, I think having multiples of vehicles, it will allow you, and picture this with me, because I have space to do this, and I very well might do it. Picture like an 8-foot table, maybe two 8 foot by 3 foot, like two tables side by side. All right. With a freaking battle scene diorama. Now, we've seen it done with Lego. I've seen Lego ones like crazy, much bigger than that. But a battle scene with Grievous, battle droids, and clone troopers, and Jedi, and the whole thing all laid out. Like, that would be pretty sick. Would take a while to make. But I feel like that would be pretty freaking cool. But you can only do that if you have multiples. Everybody goes, well, why do you buy so many of the same figure? Well, because you got an army build. They're freaking clones, right? That's my answer to that. Yeah, you see the paint applications on this thing. It's so cool. I'm glad. I did have my doubts on whether or not they were going to make this when they previewed it with the Bark speeder. But it does appear they're obviously going to be making it. And price-wise, I don't think it's terrible. I think it's $430, $40, something like that for the set. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money. But for a vehicle and a figure, that's not terrible. I mean, we've seen worse. Seen a lot worse. I think the Blurg is a bit overpriced, in my opinion. But, yeah, I guess that's a vehicle, too. This Heavy Trooper is pretty sick. I like that one. Look at this. I don't know why they put them two together and then didn't actually give them a display. It's kind of strange. But I want to get through some of these things. I just like all the angles of this thing. I think it's cool. I do think it will fit in a DTOF in the folded down position. Obviously tall, unless you've adjusted your shells for your DTOF, which are people buying DTOFs anymore now that they're $100 plus and the price, the inflation's kind of blown them out of the water? Are people still buying those? I don't know. Here we are to the blogger photos. Again, having a bunch of different. So we got the Heavy Trooper up front. We got the ARF Trooper on top, and we got just a regular 501st clone. Having those mix of different helmet styles is what makes a display. Obviously, if you had the Bark speeder going on as well with this, and then you had Rex, and then you've got the other standard clones coming out, which I did get a pile of those as well. All these things together is going to look pretty sick. I'm really considering having to build a huge diorama. It might be a thing. I don't know how long it will take me, but it might be a thing. But yeah, are you guys gonna be picking this up? Let me know. It says it's almost 24 inches tall, something like that. 50 centimeters, I think, somewhere around there. Then you got a figure on top of it. It's pretty tall. But the fact that you can put other characters on it. So this would be a reason why some people might get the ATRT by itself and just put these guys on it. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense financially. I think it makes sense to get the figure. If you don't want the figure, sell the figure, then you got to save some money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy about it. It's more Clone Wars. What I want to know from you, though, what other vehicles and what other clones should they make? That's what I want to know in the comment section. Let me know if you want to pre-order these. Again, link in the description below. If you haven't already subscribed, we're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers soon. That would be very nice. And don't forget December for all the channel supporters out there, for Patreon supporters. Giveaways are coming. It's going to be fun. As always, click what you like.